おっと、大丈夫か？大丈夫か？
マイプリンス、離れて！私の妹から離れて！
So this episode of Kaguya-sama literally had me wheezing from laughter, like actual wheezing from laughter, when Chika's younger sister is looking upon our boy Miyuki, and she looks up to him, and she just simply says, "My prince." I freaking lost it. Like, I lost my stuff at that moment. I thought that was one of the funniest, like absolute funniest moments of the season. Then on top of that, you have Chika digging and going in on our boy, making him juggle, making him do all kinds of obscene things. And she even describes him as, normally you fail so hard that you end up as like a dead alpaca. Like, I just found like her description of Miyuki to be one of the funniest, like absolute, like that moment in time, like that 2-minute chunk scene from Chika's younger sister to basically saying that she has love interest in Miyuki to when she pushes him out the room is hilarious. Then it's all followed up by our girl Kaguya coming into the mix and confronting Chika's younger sister because she had her little medallion or keychain, basically saying like, "Oh, I missed my chance to give it to him." And she was like, "What did you give? What did you miss your chance?" And she was like the most vindictive, evil spirit you could ever conjure up. But the moment that she realizes that Chika's younger sister actually is noticing a lot of Miyuki's good qualities, like the dark circles in his eyes and the way he takes stuff seriously and he always gives it his all, she goes into she goes into like total geek mode over like lust geek mode over him with her, and she just totally like loves out. And that was definitely hilarious as well. Then we have our whole Ishigami stuff. And Ishigami stuff was like broken in like to two parts. We have him on the front end where he was trying to get Tsubame to go into the horror house that him and his classroom had put up. And prior to that, we got the whole entire backstory of how their horror house got put together, how they decided to do like a 3D sound horror house, how Lino was subjected to a lot of just obscenities by her classmates, and that whole entire thing, like when she was getting her ear nibbled to just being just totally abused, and then to have to do retakes after it. But that leading up to the Ishigami Tsubame stuff was just freaking gold. And then Kaguya's cousin or whatever, they run into the guy she likes and her best friend, making out inside of the locker room, and that kills her spirit, so much so that Lino then also takes action and she separates the men and the women for the horror house, which is so stupid. So when Tsubame and Ishigami finally get there, they have to have separate experiences. Then we cut into the next half of them, which is Ishigami finally, I don't know if he realized that he confessed, or it's very hard to tell if he confessed or not, because he for sure mustered up all of his luck that he'd been saving all year long to go and win those fair games. He won the big O cookie heart, and he definitely gave it to her. And he gave it to her because he knew that she wanted it. Everybody there understood that it was a confession. Now, when he gave it to her, he was like, "I need you to accept this." Everybody was like, confession time. And even Tsubame she didn't say no. So, like, he basically, if he doesn't fudge it up, which we know he will, but if he doesn't fudge it up, he basically won. Like, our boy Ishigami won for once. So that is definitely, like, the highlights of the episode for sure. I 100% think this episode did something really, really special. And it again set that comedic bar higher once again. And from beginning to the end of the episode, I completely enjoyed. And then we get a tidbit of what's going to come next episode, which is all the love balloons disappearing and what that's going to be. Now for the What I didn't like, which is not very much in terms of this specific episode, is more holistically. And what I mean by that is this season is really dragging out this festival stuff. In my mind, the festival would have been part 1, part 2, and we lead up to the confession, the Kaguya Miyuki confession stuff. We're being dragged out, and we keep getting told, like, hey, the festival arc it's going to continue. So basically, until the end of the season, we're not going to get the moment that we want until the end of the season. And even when we get to the end of the season, there is a strong chance that we simply get left off on like a cliffhanger or something of that nature. And who knows when we're going to get the continuation of that when Kaguya returns. You know what I mean? So that's my feeling in my heart, is that we're going to build up to this scene and we're going to get a hint of possibly what could be the outcome of it. And then we're just like, season's over kind of thing. I think that's what's going to happen. I feel like that's why they're dragging this festival arc out so much. But at the same, that's my critical kind of piece to it. But at the same time, the festival arc being elongated or being stretched out has been enjoyable. So I'm not going to necessarily complain, because like this episode, maybe it wasn't necessary in the grand scheme of things, but the Chika younger sister stuff, the Lino getting torture stuff, and the Ishigami confession, I think were all absolutely killer and absolutely enjoyable. And I would be remiss to say I would have not wanted this versus speeding up the timeline. I prefer this a lot more. But that's my critical view of it and my enjoyment. Next level. I think this episode was a 10. I laughed. This got me to belly laugh and wheeze and everything, and I think that's a huge win. All right, my friends, that's going to be my review for this episode of Kaguya-sama. We're going to be back again next week, next Friday, for episode number 11, as the Culture Festival continues. We're going to see if Chika's younger sister confesses to Miyuki before even Kaguya can. We're going to see if Ishigami can get a win. And we're going to see on what the balloons missing actually means. All right, my friends, I'm going to see you guys next week for Kaguya-sama Love is War, next Friday. Peace out.